Oh, honestly, just when you think Meghan and Harry couldn't possibly become more of a parody of themselves, they managed to outdo their own spectacular record for tackiness. It seems the Duke and Duchess of Delusion simply can't help but invite criticism, and frankly, it's getting louder because their behaviour is getting more and more ridiculous. The latest chapter in their tone-deaf tour of California? A letter they sent out that sparked a tidal wave of mockery for what can only be described as the most insufferably pretentious signature in the history of correspondence. An image of their personal letter, signed with all the pomp and circumstance they could muster, went viral for all the wrong reasons. It wasn't what they wrote that had people howling, but how they signed it. There, in all its glory, was Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and Harry, the Duke of Sussex. For a couple who screeched about wanting privacy and a normal life, they sure do love flashing those titles, don't they? Critics immediately pointed out that Meghan, whose last name is just Markle, has suddenly decided to sign her name with her full, glorious title. Why the sudden upgrade, you ask? It's a move so transparent it's almost painful, a desperate, clawing attempt to hang on to any shred of royal status she has left. Because, let's be real, you don't see a duchess casually scribbling Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, unless she's terrified you'll forget it. What makes this even more cringe-worthy is how Meghan's flamboyant scrawl stands in stark contrast to the quiet dignity of the actual working royals. Think about it. Prince William and Catherine, the literal future King and Queen of England, sign off their letters with a simple, elegant William and Catherine. The difference is screamingly obvious. While the real royals exude confidence, Harry and Meghan's signatures, dripping with flourishes and desperate emphasis, look like a cry for help. It's as if they feel utterly worthless without those titles, a pathetic attempt to clutch onto something they gleefully abandoned. While most of the royal family opts for a dignified and straightforward approach, Meghan and Harry's method just reeks of a try-hard couple who are terrified of becoming irrelevant. They aren't working royals anymore, but they will shoehorn their titles into every possible situation because their entire brand, especially in America, is built on that very royal connection they claimed to despise. And then there's the whole laughable issue of Meghan's name itself. One eagle-eyed commenter rightly pointed out that she seems to be playing fast and loose with her own identity. Before she hit the royal jackpot, she was Meghan Markle. Now, with the Duchess of Sussex permanently attached, it's like she's desperately trying to bury the woman she used to be. This is a woman who, by all appearances, is having a full-blown identity crisis. Is she Meghan Markle, the actress from Suits? Or is she Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex? The question hangs in the air, unanswered, because she probably doesn't even know herself. If that weren't enough, let's talk about their latest spiritual journey into the cosmos. The perpetually searching Sussexes were recently spotted with celebrity astrologer Angela Pearl. Now, some might say Harry's sudden interest in astrology is a sweet nod to his late mother, Princess Diana, who was also fascinated by it. But let's be honest, this meeting just raised more eyebrows about their meticulously crafted, yet constantly failing public image. Is their entire public persona just a carefully constructed performance designed to keep them in the headlines now that the royal paychecks have stopped? But what truly stole the show from the images shared by Hello Magazine was the couple's painfully awkward appearance. Harry, in particular, looked completely dishevelled. Was it a fashion choice, or is he finally crumbling under the weight of constant public scrutiny? He honestly looked like he'd been out all night and just rolled out of bed. Meghan, on the other hand, was, as always, impeccably curated, almost too curated. Her appearance at these events always screams trying too hard, as she swans around in outfits that, while beautiful, are often completely over the top for the occasion. This brings us to the simmering tension between Meghan and the world of high fashion. She has been dogged by whispers for years that she has a bad habit of not returning borrowed designer clothes. The royal family, for all its faults, has incredibly strict rules about this sort of thing, including the proper handling of designer items loaned for public appearances. So, when Meghan allegedly forgot to return items, or even worse, lost them, it set off a firestorm behind palace walls. The most famous story, of course, involved a piece of Cartier jewellery loaned to her for her wedding, which supposedly vanished into thin air. The rumours got so bad that palace staff allegedly had to conduct a search of her quarters to get it back. If that massive red flag wasn't enough to signal her disdain for royal expectations, it's certainly contributing to the growing chasm between her and major fashion houses. So, is this the real reason designers seem to be giving Meghan Markle a wide berth? Could her little habit of keeping or mishandling borrowed bling be why she's losing her sparkle with high-end brands? Some have even speculated that this is all part of her grand strategy, to look like royalty and live a life of unimaginable luxury, all while being completely untethered from any of the responsibilities that come with it. In the end, the exhausting saga of Meghan and Harry is a constant source of drama and friction. From their pretentious signatures to their complicated relationship with basic royal protocols, it's blindingly obvious that their journey is a tangled mess of contradictions. They want the prestige of royalty without any of the duty, and while their public persona is still desperately clinging to those royal undertones, it's clearer than ever that their life outside the firm is anything but a fairy tale. Whether they'll keep trying to squeeze every last drop out of their royal connections remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, their story is far from over, and we'll all be watching the next chapter of this slow-motion car crash.